Welcome back. Welcome back to more Ignorant to Basketball. It's been a little bit since I've made a video, so I wanted to kind of just give my thoughts on what I've noticed, what I've been looking at, and most importantly, if it's still ring season in Phoenix. So let's start off, with something fun. Let's start off with the fucking buzzer beater. Now, this is what I've been saying, okay? When I made my first Devin Booker video, I'm like, look, people, this man has a shot at MVP because with Chris Paul added to the team, they're going to have more chances at close games. And I think Devin Booker is one of the most clutch players in the NBA. Do I have stats to back that up? No. But I have eyes. And I see this motherfucker has hit a lot of buzzer beaters. Actually, I do have some stats for you because I have math and I have science. He has hit the most buzzer beaters in the past 5 years. I think that's how long he's been playing. He's second behind Westbrook. And Westbrook takes some of the dumbest fucking shots I've ever seen in my life. Now, some people are going to get mad at that, but guess what? Bitch, you're wrong, because he takes a lot of stupid shots. Westbrook is he's like a fucking dog, you know what I mean? And no offense, but he's like a dog. He's just always amped up. He's ready to go. And he's not okay. If we're listing cerebral players, people who think the game, when we're looking back at this era of basketball 20 years from now, and we're like, who are the smartest players in the league? I'm just saying nobody is gonna put Russell Westbrook on that list, and that's fine. You don't have to be a genius to be entertaining. He's still a great player to some people. You know what I mean? And that's just the facts. Now, if he was on the Suns, he would be the smartest player in the world, but he's not on the Suns, so I can be objective, and that's just the truth. I'm kidding. Russell Westbrook is great. It's not true. But this is what I'm saying. Devin Booker is like the perfect clutch player because, one, his attitude is amazing. This man does not give a fuck. You could even look. This is proof. Even after he hit that huge shot, fucking Chris Paul's emotional ass is trying to give him, a fucking chest bump and shit. And he's like, sit your ass down. One stop. You know what that tells me? He's a fucking winner. That's what that shit tells me. He's like, I know I hit the shot. Of course I hit the shot. Do you know who I am? That's the attitude you need. Now, not only does he have that attitude, but he's very technical. Like when you watch like those, I'm sure you guys have all seen this shit, but like those USA camps where they would play like one-on-one and you kind of like get the ball at the free throw line. Like people who are good at that, like, there's a very specific, like, type of player that's good at shit. Like, a Ben Simmons would be ass at something like that. Like, you could be really good and still be shitty at that. Like forcing a player to score in, like, 2 or 3 dribbles, like, that's tough. When somebody's right in your fucking chest. Devin Booker is the kind of player that's really good at that. He has handles. He can score from the 3. He's a great mid-range shooter. He even posts people up, and he's, like, 6'5". Like, that's the kind of player I think is the best at game winners, And he has that. Plus, he's not a pussy like some other people who will not be named. So, I thought it made sense to me, like, yeah, he's going to have a lot of situations like that, and I think he's going to capitalize on a lot of them. I mean, even today against the Celtics, they were up by 3, right? And Kemba Walker's guarding him, and he's like, look at this little boy trying to guard me. Hilarious. So he just fucking does a 1 dribble pull up in it. I don't know how many dribbles, but a pull up right in his eye, and he fucking drains it. Like, that's a tough shot. That's a really tough shot, but he does it regularly. So now, is he going to win MVP this year? Probably not. He started off a little slow. I mean, like, there's still a route, but it's a lot less likely now because of the way he started off the year. And he was injured, but only for like 4 games. But it's still possible. We're not even halfway done with the season yet. So I'm not counting him out, but it's unlikely. I think we can all agree that it's unlikely. But shout out to him. Great game, great win. Now, yeah, and that was what did he give them their 6th loss in a row? Tough. That's tough. Now, another thing I've noticed is that Chris Paul and Devin Booker, it looks like they're finally getting their rhythm in order. They don't look like fucking awkward together when they play. Now, they're still staggering the minutes a bit, and they're still staggering the minutes, which I think they're just going to have to do. I don't think, it's not like they have like a solid name coming off the bench. Now, I love Cameron Payne, but nobody except for us and like real NBA fans knows who the fuck he is. Like if they had like a fucking, I don't know, like a Derrick Rose or like a Jeff Teague even coming off the bench, you probably wouldn't have to. But just because there's not really any like heavy hitters, quote unquote, coming off the bench, they're going to be staggering the minutes throughout the season, especially if it's a solid team that they're playing. Now, I have noticed that Coach Monty has been playing more and sitting Devin and Chris. Not all the time, but a decent amount. So that's a good sign. I mean, it's a sign that he has more faith in the bench, and that's a beautiful thing. So it's good to see that those two are getting the rhythm in order, though. And because of that, the Suns have been getting off to better starts. I think we can all remember early in the season, even when they were winning, because they won like 5 in a row, 4 in a row, something like that to start the season off. They would always be down. It would be like fucking 3 to 12, and then Chris Paul would go to the bench, and then Cameron Payne would come in, and then they would start winning. So that hasn't really been happening a lot. It's actually kind of been the other way around, where they'll gain a lead and then they'll kind of lose it throughout the game, and they'll kind of gain it, and there seems to be a lot more runs. I mean, not a lot more, but there's more runs now. So that's a good thing. Another thing, I know I'm a little all over the place, but you guys should be used to that by now. I don't have structure. Structure is for nerds, and you can put that on a t-shirt and sell it and give me 15%. I'm an entrepreneur. How do you guys feel about your boy Kaminsky, Frank the Tank, if you will, making it to the starting lineup? Now, some people would say that that's Disney movie-esque because this man got kicked off from the Kings, who are god-awful. I think we can all agree on that. Are the Kings going to make the playoffs? Of course not. They start off hot every year, and then they suck ass after 15 games. They've been doing it since the Boogie Cousin days, all right, people? I have been paying attention. So, he got kicked off that, then he got picked up by his old team, which could be a little bit awkward. I think that'd be a little awkward. That's almost like you leave a job to get a better job, and then that job fires you, and then your old job is like, you can come back. And even if they open you with welcome arms, I feel like that could be a little bit awkward. Because I did just try to leave you guys. Now, all good. I have no feelings towards Frank the Tank. I don't know if the OG Suns fans do. You guys let me know. I could even be getting this situation wrong. Maybe I mean, I'm sure they would have signed. Obviously, they wanted him. I mean, they signed him, but I don't know. But he comes back. He's basically like the third option for the center, right? Because it was Ayton, and then they played Sarge at the 5, and then he went down, and then you guys know. And then Frank the Tank would come if there was extra minutes, if it was a blowout or some shit. But now he's the starting small forward of a championship-bound team. I think the Suns are the 4th seed right now, soon to be the number 1 seed. I would say that's Disney movie-esque. Some may disagree, but they are wrong. And I think Frank has been playing well. I think it's been personally, in my oh-so-humble opinion, I think it's been an upgrade. And I love Cameron Johnson, but one, your boy's been in a bit of a shooting slump for I don't even know how many games. He broke it today. He actually shot 50% from 3, 4 for 8. Great numbers. 17 points, I think, or 16. He played great today. It's funny, nobody else did. Everyone was kind of in the teens. I think, Chris Paul, 15. Booker, 16. Ayton around, 16. Mikal had 19. Nobody had 20 points. It's hilarious. And then the team finished with an even 100. But, I mean, you kept the Celtics to 91, so that's really good. This team seems to be a lot, pretty slow-paced. Like they play solid defense, especially like late, especially like when Chris Paul comes in the game, they're like dead fucking slow. But they don't really seem to be doing a whole lot of running a lot of the times. Seems like most of the time the scores are like less than like 110. Almost every game, I feel like. I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. Oh yeah, Frank. So he helps with the rebounds because, like I said in the fucking when they lost to the Pistons. Like, this team has had a small forward problem all year. And I love this because you can, if the team that the Suns are playing against has a really good small forward, you could just put Ayton on him because he's like athletic and thin and all that shit. And that works. I think it works for pretty much every four I could think of. And then you could just put Frank on the 5 because he's used to playing 5 anyway, at least this year. So I think it works perfectly. Like, let's take the Lakers, for example, right? You just put Ayton on AD, and you put Frank on old-ass Marc Gasol. That's like best case matchup. Or you could put Sarge on... I think I'd rather have Frank, because Frank's bigger. Sarge is kind of short. He's not that big. What is he like? I feel like he's like 6'9", if I had to guess. He's not like a typical center. Now, Marc Gasol is old and slower, but he's still really fucking smart. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Would you rather have Sarge starting or Frank against the Lakers? I'm thinking Frank just because he's bigger. But and he's actually been throwing fucking dimes too. Like the chemistry between Frank and Mikal Bridges is real. It's real. He's always throwing dimes to Mikal when he's cutting. Now, when Mikal is cutting, this team is damn near unstoppable. I don't have the stats in front of me because I'm not a fucking nerd. I'm not Max Kellerman. I don't rap. Those of you who get that will get that. Those of you who do not get that will not get that. And that's why I make these videos. But if Mikal Bridges has like over like, I don't know, 17 points this game, this team is going to win every fucking time. This team is unbeatable if Mikal is hitting his shots or if he's cutting. Or if it's both, you're bound to lose. So, yeah, Chris Paul was like 0 for 5 from 3. What did Devin have? Did Devin have any threes? Devin, where is this motherfucker at? He was 1 for 4. Eton Moore 0 for 3. Galloway 0 for 1. And they still won. Why? Because, Bridges was only 2 for 5, but I think Cameron Johnson, yeah, he was the only one who made some fucking threes. Literally, this is hilarious. Because Cameron and Mikal have been on a terrible shooting slump. I think they said Mikal had missed like his last 14 threes. I was like, golly. But, yeah. So, the Suns made... Yeah, there was only 2 threes that were made that weren't from Mikal or Cameron. And they were from Devin. 1 from Devin and 1 from Frank. That's fucking hilarious. The other 6 were from those 2. So, shout out to them. And they both shot pretty well. 40 and 50% from 3. So, I'm not complaining. But I'm just saying, like, as a team, the Suns didn't even shoot well, and they still beat a pretty good team. Now, I know this Celtics team is a little banged up, but guess what, bitch? So are we. No Sarge, no Cameron Payne, no fucking Crowder. So, hello. We have struggles, too. What else have I been noticing? Let's talk about Ayton a little bit. Now, I made a video a while ago. I don't know when because I don't keep track of shit. But I was saying I noticed that the Suns were trying to give like Ayton a lot of feed him in the post a lot. And I'm like, this shit ain't working. It's just he can't catch the fucking ball for shit. I'm sorry. Great player? Well, not great. He's good. He's a good player. I like him. But he's not that guy. I don't think he's going to be the guy who's like, just give it to me in the paint. Let him dominate. I don't think that's him. At least for this team right now. I think the best... You almost have to use him as like a... I'm not going to say like Tristan Thompson, like no plays, but honestly, I think he's at his best when he's just playing really good defense, getting a lot of fucking rebounds, putbacks, and like, you know, like he picks his spots. I don't think they need to like try really hard to get him into the game. It just doesn't really seem to work, and I feel like it kind of throws everybody else out of rhythm. So I think they should focus more on getting open shots and letting the offense operate from there. Now, I know I sounded extremely intelligent, and you guys thought you were listening to an ESPN analyst that has 2 master's degrees, but it's just me. It's just me, and I have no notes, and I have a laptop that kind of works. So be impressed. I try. But I think that's it. Oh, well, obviously, the big question, is it still ring season? Bitch, of course it's still ring season. And I'm not calling you guys bitches because that's disrespectful. I'm calling the doubters bitches. I'm calling all those fucking clowns on ESPN that are like, yeah, I think maybe the Suns will maybe they'll get the 8th seed. Fuck you. That doesn't even make sense. Anybody who says that, I should have the right to smack in the face just one time. Just once, because that's the dumbest shit I've heard. How? They almost made the playoffs last year. They were this close. If there was no goddamn pandemic, who knows? They may have made it. And they get an upgrade at every position. Everyone either get better or they get a better player. And now they're going to maybe get the A seed. I made a video about this. I don't need to get into it. Oh, speaking of getting into it, the Suns got some goddamn heavy hitters coming up. They got a game against the Bucks. They got a game against the Nets. Actually, that's kind of it. But, those should be good games. The Lakers. Oh, that's all the way in March. Never mind. I'm excited to watch that Nets game because you already know this is a fuck James Harden YouTube channel. I do not like this man. I will say this is a better spot for him because you're not the guy. So just let KD and Kyrie be the guy, and you could just be like, I think this is a great fit for James Harden, but he's still a bitch, and he will remain a bitch until he proves me wrong. So let's see what happens. I'm going to end it here because I don't know what I've said. I kind of went into a drunken, I'm not going to say rage, but more of like a ramble for 100% of this video. So I'm going to end it. I will see you guys later. Peace.